Discover Seattle Colleges. We would love to hear from you. First name and what brings you to Seattle or Discover Seattle Colleges tonight. Lucas, welcome. Potential international candidate wanting to know about culinary. You're in the right place, Lucas. Thank you. Oh, and Rosie is here looking for information about apparel design. Welcome, Rosie. Welcome to Discover. We've got some folks here who can speak to that tonight. Mariah, thank you for being here on behalf of Funding Navigation. I'll have a plug for you in a little bit, but thank you for being here. Oh, and we've got, is it Orhun? Let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Looking at the design program, working on a portfolio. Jill, that's going to be somebody for you to talk to. Noah, welcome. Thanks for being here. Samuel, excited to hear about culinary. Well, we're excited to tell you about it. Not me. I'm not the culinary person, but we got a lot of culinary folks here. Hi, Grace. A kiddo in high school. That's great. Oh, Jessica's at work. I love it. Thanks for being here while you're at work, Jessica. Zoe here for Orhun. I got it right. See? I'm working on it. Hi, Benji. Looking for psychology. Excellent. This is great. And we got a few more folks coming in here. I'll get started in just a second. So please continue to put your name and your reason for being here in the chat. We are so excited to have you. Appreciate you being here. And I will go ahead and get started for us. Welcome. We want to welcome you to Discover Seattle Colleges. My name is Nick, and I have the honor of being your host this afternoon. Some of you might be graduating high school and exploring your college options for the future. Others of you, you may be coming from work. You may currently be at work and you're looking to make a career change. Still others of you, you might be current students at Seattle Colleges and you're looking to see what options are available to you. And regardless of where you are from or what has brought you here, I want to give a warm welcome to you on behalf of Seattle Colleges and on behalf of all the faculty that are here. We're so excited that you're here. Who are we? We are Seattle Colleges. We're a district of 3 colleges: North Seattle College, Seattle Central College, and South Seattle College. And together we are the Seattle Colleges. And as our name implies, you can find us all across Seattle, but not just our main campuses. We also have a number of specialty centers: the Seattle Maritime Academy, the Wood Technology Center, the Health Education Center, Georgetown Campus, New Holly. We're all over the place in Seattle. And I anticipate that many of you have questions about what you can study at Seattle Colleges. That's probably why you're here. And the answer is just about anything, because we have over 130 programs at Seattle Colleges in these 8 areas of study. And tonight we're really focusing on 3. Okay, so we're focusing on arts, design, and graphics, culinary, hospitality, and wine, and then social sciences, humanities, and language. But I don't want you to limit yourself to just 3 when you're thinking about what you want to do or who you want to be. We have other events that we've been doing all week that you can find on our YouTube page. We've been live streaming them. We're going to be live streaming tonight, and you'll be able to see all the other programs that we've been looking at all week. So if you have any interest in business, health and medical, skilled trades, please take a look at our YouTube page and you can find out more programs. But tonight I'm very excited because we have faculty here who are going to be talking about the programs under these 3 areas of study. And this is a bigger snapshot of the programs that we have available, but it's still not all of them. We have more than this. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is go to our all programs page on our website. That's seattlecolleges.edu/programs. culinaryareas.edu/programs. And if someone from my team can throw that in the chat, that would be great. When you get to that page, it's going to look like this. And I would encourage you to navigate to one of the 3 tiles at the bottom. You can choose programs at North, programs at Central, programs at South. And when you get there, you're going to be able to see all the programs at that college by area of study. And when you're looking at those programs on those pages, you're going to see a number of different credentials. We have programs that are designed to help you complete your GED. We have certificates and short-term certificates. We have 2-year associate's degrees. We have bachelor's degrees. And here's the great thing. You can start your journey at any point along this path. Some of you already have certificates. Some of you have associate's degrees. Some of you even probably have bachelor's degrees. Come on back. We're ready for you. And if you are just starting out and you want to get a certificate and then you want to go work, we can help you do that. If you want to come and you want to get your associate degree and then go work or transfer, we can help you do that. If you want to start with a certificate and go all the way to a bachelor's program, we want to help you do that too. We're here to support your dreams and your goals. Now let's talk about money, right? Because that's one of the most important things, one of the things that we think about first, right? How can I afford this? And here's what I want you to walk away from this session with. We have funding for you, okay? That funding comes in a number of different ways. Financial aid, we have workforce funding, we have things like foundation scholarships, and this is just the start, okay? There's all kinds of opportunities. So what I'd like you to do for this week is be thinking about what do you want to be? What do you aspire to? What makes you passionate? We'll find the funding. That can come next, but I want you really to explore this week and next week. I also want to do a quick plug. We have funding navigators here in this room tonight who are able to answer your questions about funding. And so if you are here from Funding Navigation, Mariah, I know you're here and your team. If you'd be willing to just let us know in the chat who you are, maybe raise a hand, maybe give us a wave, just so that students know that you're here. Students, if you have questions about funding, these are the folks to ask. And so I encourage you, feel free to direct message them or just drop it in the chat, but they're here to help. And I'm just really grateful, Mariah, for you and your team being here tonight. So thank you. And also another quick plug, virtual FAFSA and WASPA workshops are happening Tuesdays at noon on Zoom. So similar format to this. You can learn how to apply for financial aid. FAFSA and WASPA are the applications. You can get your questions answered and you can get one-on-one assistance. And so I encourage you, grab a picture of this QR code right here. And on Tuesdays at noon, hop into that Zoom room and you'll be able to get your questions answered. And again, just a reminder that we've had events all week. Today is our last day, but all of our content is going to be on our YouTube page. So please find that as you have time. Here's what's going to happen next. Coming up, 2 things. One, we're going to have presentations from our faculty. We're going to divide into 2 rooms, and I'll tell you which rooms here in a second. And you're going to hear 5-minute presentations from the faculty. And then once they're all done with their presentations, we're going to have a time for Q&A where you're going to be able to ask questions and get your questions answered. So in just a second, we're going to open up our breakout rooms. And here's how we're going to split it up. Culinary, hospitality, and wine, you're going to go to one breakout room. Arts, design, and graphics, and social sciences, humanities, and language will go to the other room. So students, I want you to choose which one really piques your interest, which one gets you excited, which one are you here to learn more about. And if you're not sure which program is in which area of study, you can let us know in the chat. The breakout rooms are going to open here in a second. And if you can't find them, I want you to navigate to the bar at the bottom. You might have to click the 3 little dots and hit breakout rooms. We are also going to be here. I'm going to stop sharing here so that we can.
me get started here. All right. So everyone can hear me okay? Everyone can see my screen. Beautiful. Perfect. That's all that's needed, really. So we are gathered here today to talk about culinary hospitality and wine. So exciting. Um, I am your host. My name is Bird Hudson. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the marketing manager at Seattle Central College. I know where I work, I promise. And I will now allow all of the presenters today to introduce themselves, just like your name, your position, if you want to, say your pronouns, and then we'll just go through, starting with David.
Hi, I'm Dave Hatfield. I am one of the faculty at South Seattle's culinary program. I'll be presenting, but I also have one, two, three, four, five other chefs with us tonight that will be in our breakout room from the program as well. So,
Great. And Munku,
Hi everyone, my name is Moon Kutwan. I'm teaching second course of South Culinary Program. Nice to meet you all.
thank you. And then Sean. Sean here. Okay.
no.
All right. Hopefully Sean joins us later. Amy.
Hi there, I'm Amy LePage. I'm the Associate Dean at Seattle Culinary Academy. We are located at Seattle Central College. All of our faculty are either still teaching or something popped up, so I get to present both programs to you tonight.
Great. Thank you, Amy. David. Yes, I see you.
Hi, I'm David Krull. I'm one of the full-time faculty members in the bachelor's degree program and the bachelor's in hospitality management.
Thank you, David. And then last but not least, John.
How's it going? I'm John Darren, he, him, and I'm the winemaker and winemaking instructor over at the Northwest Wine Academy at South Seattle College.
Great. Thank you so much. So yeah, can I go back? Yeah, so these are our presenters. Thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing with these prospective students and everyone else who's here to learn more about your programs. It's so exciting. We're really excited to hear from you. So yes, today we'll get to hear about 5-minute presentations on each program that we're going to cover today from these presenters. If you have questions, please just drop them in the chat or save them for the Q&A later so we don't, interrupt the flow. And yes, after the presentations, we'll have like a general Q&A as a group here, and then we'll probably go back into the main group and do like smaller Q&As from there. We'll kind of go with the flow there. All right, so tonight's program is going to include culinary and pastry arts, specialty desserts and breads, hospitality management, and wine studies, which will include, marketing and wine technology, the wine management. So you'll learn more about that as well. All right, so first up, we'll do culinary and pastry arts. I will let David, Munku, and Sean take it away.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. Glad you're here. Moonku and I are going to quickly go through these slides and give you guys a chance to ask any questions, but we want to invite you to our breakout room. Like I said, we've got all our instructors here for a little meet and greet. To get started, we offer not only a certificate, but also a associate's degree. It is 5 quarters and that runs full time. A typical week for us, Monday through Thursday, we are in the kitchen from about 8 a.m. until about 1:30 in the afternoon. Typically on Fridays, that's when we do our lectures. So it is mostly in person, 4 days a week, and typically on Friday, depending on the instructor, it might be an online Zoom lecture, it might be an in-person lecture. We do run fall, winter, spring, and we do enroll starting with that freshman class every single quarter. We do have a pretty small class size, which is nice. It gives you a chance to have more one-on-one time with your instructor. And I would say our average class size is 6 to 10. Okay. We are located at South Seattle College. If you have not been to South Seattle, check it out. It is a beautiful campus and very easy to get to, and lots of parking. So, next slide. Moonku, you want to talk about this one?
I think you can go ahead. I'm just gonna
Okay,
talk
I'll
about
keep
Asian
going.
cuisine. Yes.
So kind of the highlights of our program, like I said, we progress you through 5 quarters of classes. Your beginning quarter is going to be the basics, your knife skills, your basic techniques, classical cuisine. Second quarter would be your more advanced class where you're really honing your knife skills. You're learning some a la carte service in our Otter's Den, but you're mainly focused on Asian cuisine. So if you do really enjoy Asian cuisines, Chef Moon Koo will guide you through that. Third quarter is with our pastry chef Kim, who's here to talk to you as well. And you spend the whole quarter in her building making, and I always call it the best quarter of the whole program. You get to make some wonderful pastries and bread, as well as gluten-free. She has a brand new gluten-free program over in her building. Third quarter or fourth quarter is with Chef Sean, who's going to be here in a moment. He takes you through fine dining. His specialty is butchery and charcuterie, as well as Middle Eastern food. So that's always a really fun class to take. And then your fifth quarter is what we call kind of your capstone project. That is with myself. And I guide you through opening up your own food truck on campus. You spend all quarter designing your own menu, hiring each other, and actually opening up for business for an entire week on campus with this giant blue food truck. It's always a good time. We do really pride ourselves on teaching the latest technology that is available to the industry. Each kitchen has their own blast chillers. We have Paco Jets. Chef Sean will take you through actual meat dry aging and fermented sausages. We make use of a lot of sous vide machines. We've got a wonderful array of pasta extruders and ravioli machines. And we have a fully electrified kitchen now, state of the art. It's the only one in Washington. And it is 100% electric with induction burners and state-of-the-art ovens. Really, really fun to cook in. Like I said, it's a one-of-a-kind kitchen, and that just came online this past year. So when you graduate, we really do give you the tools to be successful in whatever path you choose. We have focused on the business side of things a lot lately because we have found that a lot of students would like to own their own business. So we do put a lot of effort in each of our classes on things like food costing, management, sanitation, and not only cooking, but how to run a business as well. Did I make it under 5 minutes? I think I did.
You're perfect.
Perfect.
Next up we'll have, thank you, Chef Dave. Next up we'll have Culinary Arts with Amy.
Hi there, everyone. Once again, my name is Amy LePage. I'm the Associate Dean at Seattle Culinary Academy. We are located at Seattle Central College, which is on Capitol Hill, right on Broadway, off the Capitol Hill light rail station. So just a brief overview of the program. So we offer we have a culinary arts program, which I'll talk about first. And then second, I'll talk about specialty desserts and breads. These are two separate pathways. The culinary program, you can get an AAS. This is a 90 credit 5-quarter program. One of the great things about it being a 90 quarter program is if you're on Seattle Promise or another funded pathway, usually all of your tuition can be supported. All of our classes are in person. We run Tuesday through Friday. Most of our students are working part-time in the industry or just really focusing on their work, and so they have the chance to do that weekends and Mondays. We start students in fall, winter, and spring quarters. So we always have a cohort running of each quarter of students. So say you start next fall, you would run fall, winter, spring. You would have that summer to go do some work, do some travel, and then you would return for that next fall and winter. And so you would graduate after a year and a half. Our average class size, anywhere between 10 and 25 students. Some of our early classes have more students, and then as you work your way through the program, you end up with a slightly smaller cohort and more focused classes. In terms of getting placed into the program, we do not have any prerequisites. We do have a basic literacy and numeracy requirement, meaning basically if you're eligible to take English 99 101, and then just below college level math, then you're eligible for the program. And once again, we're located at Seattle Central. All right, next slide, please. Great. Just some highlights about the program. Like any community college culinary program, really start with that foundation of theory, culinary technique. We do a lot of practice on what it's like to work in a kitchen, tons of knife skills practice, and really spending that first quarter building a strong foundation. As students move through the program, the goal is to create more and more of a simulation of what it's actually like working out in industry. So in second quarter, students are feeding all of the other culinary and baking students, so preparing up to 150 meals a day. It's like really working on the line. A lot of our graduates have related it to, say, if they get a job working at the Google campus and they're doing really like niche menus. We do international foods where you're going to learn how to cook on a wok. You'll run a sushi station, but you'll also run more traditional stations with American regional cuisine as well. In third quarter, students get to work in a bistro setting. So we have a woodstone pizza oven. So students are not just making like a 2-day ferment for pizza dough, but they learn how to hand pull mozzarella. They're making the sausage that's going on the pizza and learning how to do that high heat cooking. And then also learning about what's it like to actually run a bistro and do counter service. So students are also getting a front of house practice. In their fourth quarter, students are going to be focusing on fine dining. So just like in the bistro, we have these rotating menus. We are currently running our like a San Sebastian menu, so with a focus on kind of Spanish and European cuisine, but we also run a Japanese menu, a Oaxacan menu, a Middle Eastern menu. And this is multi-course dining. In fifth quarter, students do their capstone project. So they get to design a chef of the day project where it's really where they want food to go or where they might want to go in the industry. It's a 4-course prepared meal. But also in that fifth quarter, students are the sous chef in each kitchen. So they get to practice on the line at One World Restaurant where they're calling out menus. They're dictating how the flow of service is going to go. So they get that practice. And then they do banquet projects. We do some molecular gastronomy and then a deep dive into butchery. So over the course of those 5 quarters, students are getting more responsibility. There's a progression on what the demand is on them. And then the expectation is that they build not just in their efficacy in cooking, but their overall speed and consistency. In addition to spending about 20 hours a week actually cooking in the kitchen, there are other classes. A lot of our students want to open a business. So we have food costing. We do purchasing and inventory, nutrition. We have 2 focused sustainability classes. We have a lot of folks that want to get into social justice in our food system. So we want to make sure that they have that exposure. And then we do a dining room, front and back of house management. So the 5 kitchens that we have, each of them are designed and built specifically for what students are learning during that quarter. And then again, those 2 student-run restaurants have that front and back of house service so folks can get that experience. Let's see. Now I'm just looking at my slides, seeing what I missed. I think I mentioned that we are on Capitol Hill. We have a lot of community focus. Just today, we ran a community lunch celebrating Vietnamese cuisine and Women's History Month. We do a lot of different things that bring the community into our spaces and then also help connect our students with the community around for networking. A a couple more highlights I didn't put in the slide. We have exemplary status with the American Culinary Federation. We have a number of students that want to go on to compete in cooking or they want to get into education. So having that ACF certification not only helps us show our students that we're teaching them what we tell them we're going to be teaching them, but that they can check off all these competencies and go on to get their own certification when they graduate. All right, next slide, please. Okay, careers in the industry. So a number of our students will go on to do externships, whether it be in Spain or France or do some further travel. I'm taking 16 students to France in 2 weeks on a field trip, and I cannot be more excited about it. A lot of our students want to travel, and so we find different ways to help students access that. Students also go to Quillisasket Farm. This is a separate immersion, but it's a summer opportunity where students work on a goat dairy farm for a week. I had the chance last year to take about 18 students and really learning about what farm to table cooking means. Our students go into work in restaurants in the area. They do catering, recipe, product development. Again, a lot of students are into social justice in our food systems. They can do food styling and recipe development. Many of our students, about half, have a goal of opening their own restaurant at some point, and many of them do. We try to connect our students with our alumni and the local community. In about a week and a half, we're running a community forum that has a number of employers where they talk about their journey, their struggles, and then they table so that students can have the chance to talk about career potential. All right, next slide, please. Okay, how was that? Was that more than 5?
You know, a lady never tells. I don't know.
It's probably more
You're
than.
fine.
Okay.
You're fine. You're perfect. Let's go
All
on
right.
to specialty desserts and breads.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to be a little more concise in this one.
It's cool. It's so
Yeah.
interesting. All of it's so
Okay,
interesting.
great.
So you're doing great. Yeah, don't worry about it.
So the other program we offer is specialty desserts and breads. So these two programs are adjacent. They're next to each other, but they're in their own separate kitchens. Culinary students, they do spend some time over in specialty desserts and breads and vice versa, but they are, again, two separate programs. So we offer both a certificate and an associate of applied science in this. So 75 credits for the certificate, which takes 4 quarters. For the AA, we're looking at 5 quarters and 90 credits. Just like with the culinary program, this is in mind for a student to be able to come in, study, get their work done, and then be able to get out into the industry. It's also easier to get funded with Seattle Promise because it's a nice tight group of credits. Just like in the culinary program, we teach in person only, and our classes run Tuesday through Friday. We start a new cohort every fall, winter, and spring, and we have a smaller class size for pastry. There's a lot more hands-on work going on, so we have an average class of 10 to 17 students. Just like culinary arts, students, if they are eligible for English 99 101 and Math 87, so level 2 or just below college level math, then they can go right into the program without taking any other classes. And again, this program is also located at Seattle Central College on Capitol Hill. All right, next slide. Thank you. Some highlights of the program. So again, we have a huge focus on both the theory and the practical work. Our students are in the kitchen about 20 hours a week over those 4 days, and then they have hours before and after where they're learning theory. Just like in the culinary program, they're going to be learning about food costing, purchasing. We have an HR management course, sustainability, nutrition, and overall cafe management. One of the exciting things that we've added into the pastry program, so in the photo there, you can see the Buzz Cafe. This is the campus's primary food source for very fast casual grab and go. The 2 restaurants are typically for sit-down service. And so we push through a lot of pastries every day. We do a lot of prepared foods. It's a rotation in every quarter in both programs. And then in that last quarter, students get barista training. So, and I guess I should save that for the end, but I'm always excited about it. So our students get to go on a field trip to Cafe Vita. They learn about coffee roasting. They learn about even drink pairing with coffee, and get to practice making coffee drinks on our La Marzocco machine. But throughout the rest of the program, the students are spending most of the time in the actual bake shop. Just like in culinary, we start with all that foundation work. So you're learning about mixing methods, you're learning about mise en place and how to get your station set up, and a lot of the components that go into desserts and go into pastries. In second quarter, students focus completely on fermentation. So we do breads, we do a lot of natural fermentation in our breads, and then we also do laminated and enriched doughs. So students get to be over by our big deck oven, and they're doing major production, not just for the cafe, but also for the different restaurants for their bread service that's needed. In third quarter, students go on to do confections and chocolates. Just yesterday, I saw all the molded chocolates that students are working on that will then again go down to the cafe. And then students also do plated desserts. So that's where they're pulling in all the different components that they've been learning and learn how to put it together, how to do plating, and how to design an interesting and intriguing dessert that has a lot of different components to it. In their fourth quarter for the certificate, this is where students are doing their Chef of the Day project. And again, just like in culinary, they're going to do all of the planning. They put in requisitions for the ingredients they need. They do the food costing, and then they do that final presentation. The goal is for that presentation to be like if they were opening their own cafe. Let's see, what else? What did I miss here? I feel like I covered. Okay, I think that's it for that slide. Thanks. And then for careers, a lot of our students end up working in bakeries and restaurants. It kind of depends on if they're a night owl or a morning person. I would say more in the baking program, we have students that want to start their own business. And a lot of them end up doing anything from like chocolates to doing like boxed gifts that can be sent out. We have they're on like a mailing list for it. Students who have graduated to do wedding cakes, and then also open cafes and bakeries. There are a lot of hospitality related jobs that are a little more baking focused. We also have a lot of students that then decide to enroll in the other program because they want that full, more well-rounded balance of both culinary and baking. Some of our baking students also participate in the externship in Spain, and some take that week also at Quilisasket Farm. As far as travel goes, probably the most exciting one from this year, we hosted a cooking competition with the Korean consulate, and it was at our location, and one of our pastry students had the winning dish, and it was a dessert, which was so interesting because the ingredient that they had to use was kimchi. But she ended up going to Korea for a full week. She had this incredible experience, got to do a lot of different cooking there, and came in second place overall internationally. So opportunities like that, they're available for both culinary and pastry students and often lead to careers in those areas and where they get to go then live abroad. Some of the places where our students currently work at Farine, Bakery Nouveau, Pie Bird Bake Shop. A lot of our students are going to work there. If you haven't been, you definitely need to check it out. Dupar and Company, so at different catering operations. The Flora Bakehouse, Panoishki, which is just kind of across the street, and a lot of other places. Some of our alumni are actually coming back to represent these restaurants at the Career Forum next week. All right.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy. We're going to move on to hospitality management with David Kroll.
Thank you. And it's fun to follow our culinary folks. Something they don't, I want to make sure I kind of give them a tip of the hat to. because I know there's parents on here as well as prospective students listening. Our culinary folks at both the Central programs and the South Seattle College programs are so well established, literally for decades in the community, that employment for those students is never an issue. They just South Seattle and Central culinary team, they're everywhere in every aspect of this, from fine dining to in-house corporate dining to catering companies, event plan. They're everywhere throughout the community. So getting employment during the program and immediately after the program is never an issue for their graduates. They're just an amazing reputation out there in the community. Telling about our program, the reason I like to start with culinary is our program, which is a bachelor's degree in hospitality management, was actually designed to give students who graduate from programs like other culinary programs, they come out with an AA degree, a 2-year degree. And if they want to go on and maybe think about getting into management level or owning their own company or something, we try to provide the management skills. And so that first 90 credits of the degree comes out with their AA degree. And then we just teach. They start as juniors, in other words, at South. Then they'll start as juniors and have 2 years to earn take a load of management classes and earn a bachelor's degree in their related fields. And so it's the students tend to go full time, which is a 6 quarter, so it's a 2-year program. But we know most of our students are working by this time. By the time they've got an A, they're out there working. So we only meet 2 days a week, like it'd be a Monday and Wednesday for 3 hours a day. Some students join our classes because they're working or they're out of state. They'll join via Zoom only. We do offer it in a hybrid format, again, to be flexible for students. We admit new students fall, winter, and spring quarters, and the average class size is, like the culinary programs, at 15 to 20, sometimes 25. And when you compare that to the other options for bachelor's degree, whether it's UW or Central Washington or Western Washington University, where they have hundreds of students, the fact that we have these small cohort size classes, you get to know the instructors one-on-one. We take students on tours to industry. Industry people come in to our classes continually to talk about what their companies are like, what they offer, what career paths they offer. And it's just always good to hear from the current experts out there and bring them into the classroom. And the small class size really lends itself to that. Again, to join our class, your AA degree, your associate degree doesn't have to be in culinary or pastry. It can be at any time. It could be a business AA. It could be a English degree, math. Anything you decide to explore for that 2-year degree, we accept that, and you come in and you start as a junior. And so it's designed to be flexible. So we don't, because our classes don't really have prerequisites. The only prerequisite is to have completed the AA degree, and you can start. Go ahead and next slide. That's all right. Thank you. The types of courses that we offer, because it's intended to be a management level course, so we try to mimic the same type of degree coursework that you would get if you went to UW Business School. We offer our courses are in like marketing and finance and human resource management and law, business law topics, entrepreneurship. It's just our courses are specializing in service industry perspective. The hospitality, whether it's hotels, restaurants, cruise, airlines, are the examples that we use and our textbooks focus on. Or we use, instead of textbooks, we use a lot of computer simulations, and have students actually kind of operate in businesses, often as part of teams, just to practice these skills. And our graduates tend to go into things like finance, human resources, again, hotel management, and some of them do have their own, if they want, they have their own restaurants, and open up businesses. And other, we have some that are like doing in the catering area. Event planning is very popular with our students. That's kind of a big thing these days for our graduates too. So I'm trying to look at the other ones that they go into. Yeah, the catering and not so much on cruise ships lately. We do have a lot of cruise ships that come out of here, but not on board jobs. The ones at the headquarters, like Holland American stuff, is where ours go. And okay, let's go ahead and go to the next slide if that's all right.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
Our the students that do graduate, some of them do go on and they can go right into they've gone on to graduate school. Once you get our bachelor's degree, it does transfer into. So we've had students go on and continue their studies in graduate school. They also, again, as I said, come out and tend to work in the hospitality field and enter into management positions there. It's also not uncommon for our students. We partner with large groups like the Four Seasons Hotel Group, Compass Group. They offer internships to our students, like a summer internship at Four Seasons, and which will be a 3 months you work for them. There's one in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and they have one in Vail, Colorado too. And they'll take on our students, and the idea is that if they're successful and enjoy it and there's a good match, then Four Seasons will offer the students that complete the internships to immediately enter their management and training programs for Four Seasons. And so if people want to take that path, we've had our graduates will go through the Disney internship too and do that. That's a year internship. Again, it's management training for Disney. So those are the types of career paths our graduates have. We're very proud of the industry connections we have, just like we leaned heavily, and as I mentioned, the culinary, their imprint on the local market. Our industry partners are very close to our students. Our students, if they're not already working, they have 100% employment when they're with us. We place them in jobs. Like the culinary programs will host career fairs on campuses. And more importantly than that, having the industry partners into the classrooms, and they will often host us at tours and events. Our program also pays for the membership fees to belong in different professional organizations, like the National Association of Catering and Event Planning, like the Society for Human Resource Managers. There's marketing organizations. We pay the membership fees because they have like local chapter meetings that are actually filled with industry professionals, but they love to have the students come in and meet them, and they'll often volunteer to mentor those students and kind of sell them on their career paths and stuff, and sell them on their coming to work for their companies. So that's how we try to engage with the local community. I can't remember. Oh yeah, so mention the summer internships. I think I've covered those things. So, okay.
Great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
You bet.
We'll move on to wine technology.
Yeah, so welcome everyone. My name is John Darren. I'm the winemaking instructor and the winemaker here for the Northwest Wine Academy. I know some of the naming is kind of hard, but we are the Northwest Wine Academy located at South Seattle College in West Seattle. So don't get that confused. It's impossible to. So yeah, to talk a little bit, we have a couple different pathways. We have lots of different options at the Wine Academy. So we both have, as you can see right there, we have pathways for certificates, associate's degrees, and associate transfer degrees in wine marketing and sales. So that's going to be, for the smaller degrees, anywhere from about 4 quarters full time all the way up to about 2 years for the AAS degrees. These are going to focus a lot more on like sensory analysis, a lot more on like obviously marketing and sales. It's going to have a lot of food and wine pairing kind of components, things like that, like somm service, so being a sommelier, that kind of a thing. So lots of classes that involve sort of the sales side, on distribution, on retail, all the information you need to know to be kind of a customer facing sort of wine professional there. So our classes are generally speaking in person. It's pretty hard to get a palate for wines if you're doing it at home. So we kind of have you on campus a good amount of the time, but we do actually offer all of our courses in the evening. So a vast majority of our students are, older, they have a full-time job, they might have a family, what have you. And so all of our classes are going to be from about 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, Mondays through Thursdays. We do have some classes that are going to be remote or online generally as well. So we really pride ourselves in being able to work around whatever kind of constraints students might have. We have lots of industry folks taking extra classes. We also have brand new folks who have, maybe only had wine a couple of times, who want to maybe figure out if this is a good career option for them. Now, see, our program is generally focused on starting students both for spring quarter and for fall quarter. For the wine marketing and sales pathway, either one of those is totally fine. We just want to make sure we're offering all the courses you need. So we have those entry level courses available for you. If you start in fall or spring, it's a little harder. If you start in the winter quarter, we'll take you one way or another, but we prefer a fall and a spring start. And as of recently, we can actually accept students who are 18 years of age or older. So that is obviously younger than the drinking age. So the workaround there's a state law in Washington that allows us to be able to sip and spit if you are a student enrolled in our program. So you can still build up that palate, still build up those professional qualifications before you are even 21. And I can tell you from personal experience, I went to wine school before I was 21, and I really suggest it. So being that ahead of the curve there and entering the industry at a young age is really cool, and it gives you a lot more harvests under your belt, or just a lot more experience in the industry. And it's cool being the youngest person in the room and really knowing what you're talking about. It's a cool experience there. We can go to the next slide there. So the other one I like to talk about a lot, obviously, being the winemaker there, is we also have a full production winery on campus. So we make around 500 cases of wine a year, anywhere from 7 to 10 different varietals, so different types of wines. We have our full production on campus at South Seattle College. So, I'm over there trucking fruit from the East End, bringing it over. And the metaphor I use is I'm technically the winemaker here, so I somewhat guide the process. But in reality, it's going to be the students making the wine. So I'm just there to make sure, no one has any accidents or makes any completely crazy decisions. But besides that, it's really the creativity and the insights the students bring from their backgrounds, or really what they get excited about here at the Academy. And we try to make those wines come to life. And more often than not, they're fantastic. And I'm always impressed with what the students bring to the table there. So this one, obviously, for the wine production, that is going to be largely focused on campus there. You can't make wine over Zoom. So we're going to do a lot of that stuff there. We work with some of the best fruit, some of the best growers in the state. And without tooting the horn of the Academy, you cannot go into Woodinville into basically a single tasting room over there and not have someone who is at least tangentially associated with this academy, right? We are the only full production wine academy on the west end of the mountains over here. So there's a couple schools in the east end, but if you are in Seattle proper, there really is no other academy offering the same kinds of education that we can have here at South Seattle College at the Northwest Wine Academy. Class sizes, there's a lot of variance there, I will say. So for some of the more wine marketing and sales classes, that might be slightly more, never going above, I would say, about 15 or so students. In the production class, it's going to be a little bit smaller, which is great because I get tons of personal time with students all the time for office hours. People bring some of their project wines they're working on to get tasting notes with. Or, we do lots of cool events at the Academy. We do lots of alumni reach out. We have a really, really robust alumni network here at the Academy. So it's very easy for me immediately upon graduation or beforehand to get people set up with industry positions. And moreover, because I'm fairly well connected in the industry, I can usually find not only just a job for you, but one that really can resonate with your personal style, your personal approach to winemaking, your personal outlook on this industry. There's enough people doing it out here in the state. We have over 1,000 wineries last time I checked in Washington state. So we can get you set up into really whatever side of the industry you would like to be on, and at the very least give you an entry-level position at one of these places. So I've personally moved quite a few students into their first jobs in the industry. We also have a lot of entrepreneurs. So we can actually go to the next slide if you'd like. Yeah, I mean, some of the positions, to kind of backtrack and getting ahead of myself here. So we've been here since about 2004. Like I said, we have flexible program offerings in terms of most of our classes are in the evenings, which makes it a little easier. If you do have a full-time job, you can still make these classes work. And a lot of the, where you can take this if you go forward with it is really a lot bigger than I think a lot of people think it is, right? Everyone assumes they come here to learn how to become a winemaker, and that's great. That's what I do. So can't put that down too much. But there are so many options in this industry, right? You can be, cellar wine production, just, as you say, a cellar rat, making the wine happen. There's tons of lab analysis components of being like an enologist, or which is basically a wine chemist. There's lots of sales jobs. There are lots of sommelier positions. There are wine buyers for everything from grocery stores to wine shops to you name it, right? So there's lots of different positions. I've even had students show interest in barrel sales and distribution. So there are so many little parts of this industry that have lots of opportunities available for students. And having an actual degree in wine production can separate you from the rest of the pack that maybe has some sort of background in broader sales or whatever. But we are such an old, storied, particular industry that just a general alcohol degree or ag degree just doesn't maybe cut it quite the same way as it used to. So these days, it's really, really helpful to have some more formal, specific college wine training. So we like to think we provide a very good version of that. So we can go to the next slide there. Cool. So like I said, there's tons of different positions available, and I just picked out a handful of folks off the top of my head that I knew we have alumni from. And for instance, we have Tony Dollar of Lobo Hills. He's the winemaker there. He's a graduate of the program. He is coming to do a guest lecture for one of my classes this upcoming Wednesday. So you know, we really try to build this entire community, because if you been in this industry for a while, you realize that it really is a community. It's kind of a family. It's a small industry, so everyone kind of knows everyone. So there's lots of really cool positions. And the second you say, I'm a graduate or I'm a student at the Northwest Wine Academy, at the very least, someone's going to pull you into the barrel room to try some barrels and stuff, right? They really, really like to support the students. They like to see those students in their places and kind of build this general energy, this general community that kind of works around our education and then just the success of our industry in Washington. So lots of really cool options there. At the very least, I could probably set up most students with an internship, well, guaranteed at any spot, at some spot, but more often than not, I could probably get it at an actual alumni winery, which is really, really cool to see that kind of pathways and these ladders being built all through alumni starting their own businesses after they graduate. Cool, so we can keep moving there. And I think that's probably it for me. I'm keeping this thing really nice and short. Moreover, if you are interested, please stick around. I can chat with you more, answer any questions. But also, our tasting room is open to the public from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock, Thursdays through Saturdays. So if you ever want to come in for kind of an informal just tour, taste some wines, look at the building, I'm usually around there, so you can probably catch me. I'm always available, so please stop by, or you can reach out and we can set up a more formal meeting. But whatever's clever there. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you to all of our presenters. I learned so much. I hope everyone else did too. I want to encourage any students, like even if you're here in person, if you're watching this in the live stream, to keep exploring. All of the Discover events are up on the Seattle College's YouTube. You can watch the live stream. You can skip to the part that interests you, get your information there. You can go to our website, get more information. Yeah, we have, programs of STEM, trades, humanities, healthcare, etc. So hopefully you were here and you got to see exactly what you're interested in. But if you're interested in a lot of things, I know I was when I started college, you can also explore other things too. All right. Yeah, these are our online events that we had already. And then any students, if you'd like to take our exit survey, I'll give you just a second to scan this QR code. It's basically just to let us know what program you're interested in, so we can follow up with you on that program and get you like the perfect information for what you're interested in. So I'll just leave that for a few seconds. I know it takes me a minute to, get the QR code to work with my phone. So yeah, great job to all of our presenters. Thank you guys so much. All right. I'm gonna hope that was enough. If not, you can always reach out and ask for it. So it's